multiple Dakar finalists. Do you never fancy a challenge in life, Neil? Or, you just like taking the easy option?
I mean, nothing else happens in January. The Army said, you must turn up into your job interview in a suit. And I basically turned up to Off-Road Skills. And then they go, okay, right, okay, so change the tyre on that. I get such a reward out of teaching the total novices, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't really call myself an adventure rider. I'm still not
you can.
a GS wanker. Just because I finished Dakar is like, I am very average in my group of friends.
Jeez.
Exeter, London on the road. You then go from London as fast as you can up to, let's say, Newcastle, off-road, all off-road. I stupidly set up a Spotify account. I went public and said, hey, add what you want, but I couldn't change it, so I'm on the bike. And there was nursery rhymes. I've got, like, silly songs.
A mate of mine is 6'4", clinically obese, shit off-road, and terrible with the spanners. Sounds familiar. But
Lel?
he keeps
Is that
being
Llewellyn
drawn.
Bathing?
Down in the dirt.
Let's do
Awesome.
it.
Folks, welcome back to Bru Time. This week, we're chatting with the legend, Neil Hawkett. How you doing, pal?
I'm good. Legend is a bit
No,
strong,
mate,
but
no.
in my own little world.
Everyone said this to me. They said, do not let him be modest. You're obviously a very modest man. You are a legend, pal. You're a living one. So, Dakar, multiple Dakar finalists, including the coveted Malle class, ex-military veteran, firefighter, off-road instructor. Do you never fancy a father? Do you never fancy a challenge in life, Neil? Or, you just like taking the easy option?
God, do you know what? Life has been absolutely mental at the moment. I actually do. I'm spinning so many plates. Something's going to smash, and I make my life harder every time by just going, I'll just do another Dakar. But I mean, nothing else happens in January. I'm busy all through the year. Like Off-Road Skills with BMW is all year, even though it's like on paper the schools are April to October, but there's so many trips and events, Motorcycle Live, the ABR. God, bloody, we do trips in Portugal, Australia, here, there, and everywhere. And of course Wales, which is absolutely stunning. Firefighting, that's pretty busy, but like I also manage the British Enduro Championship, which is on paper it's like 6 weekends a year, but actually it's phone calls every day, sorting something out every day. And a 17-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old daughter. So I must have forgot how bad it was at some point, and the memory's not great. But I'm a busy man, but the majority of it's motorcycling. So I will never ever complain when it comes to like my passion as a job. Other than firefighting's not too much motorcycling, but it's a lifestyle rather than work. I'd say
absolutely. Obviously, you're in your van at the moment. Do you have a tipple of choice? I'm assuming a softie, but whatever.
I've got my water. It's very boring. I mean, I'm quite a social creature. I do like a beer or two, but I'm actually on call later, and I'm one of the only drivers here, so I better be good.
Yeah, best be good. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll have one on behalf. I've got a Guinness on the go, so slange.
What are you having there? What have you got? A Guinness?
So I'll have a wee sup to your health. Here's to your health, slange.
It's good for you as well. Cheers.
It's basically medicine. That's what I tell the doctor. Yeah. So we'll get into the Dakar and firefighting and the military and everything like that. But first off, bikes. When did bikes come into your life? How did that happen?
My father's all to blame, absolutely to blame. He's still passionate about motorcycles. He was a trials rider, so naturally, I wasn't really interested until I was like 6 or 7. I was well into like football and just doing stuff as a lad, and then really, I just sort of, he was still riding. My sister did archery and I did trials. So we used to share, like, one weekend I'd go and do archery and one weekend we'd do trials. So that was where it all started. And it kind of carried on till I was 16, and then I joined the army.
Oh, you did? You stopped then, did you, once you joined the mob?
Yeah. So so from 16 till about 21, I just stopped any sort of form of motorcycling, really. I it was a busy time, sort of all the training and that sort of time of your life. You just go out and socialise and do all the lad things that young squaddies do. And it got to a point where, like, I think I was at home on leave, and a few friends I was socialising with was like, "Oh, do you know there's they were ex-military actually." He said, "Oh, do you know there's a motorbike team in the army?" I was like, "No." I was like, "It's there." And then basically I found out there was a trials team that rode the Scottish Six Day, and I was like, oh, I'll have a little bit of that, I think. Went to sort of a selection process, and I was like, yeah, I ride trials, and they probably get a lot of that. Like, oh, yeah, I ride motorbikes. And the team were great. It was real friendly, and they did the Scottish Six Day every year. So it was like one event, really. And then I was like, I'm looking at the other side of things. Oh, there's an enduro team as well. What's that all about? Because I didn't really do too much of anything fast. I mean, trials, as a kid, if you ride trials, you just want to play around and go as fast as you can between the sections anyway, and muck around. That's all that trial still is. You go to a local trial and you see all the kids like messing around in between the sections, going fast, and then trying to keep your feet up, playing the ground as lava in between. It's a cool sport, and I love it, and I still do love it. But I was always like looking for something else, and then I think it was like 22, 23 trials mainly, and then started looking at enduro, and then started trying to go for that enduro side of things with the army, and never looked back. 2005 I had my first international 6-day enduro, and I've pretty much been riding other than when you're on tour or when you're on exercises and stuff like that, which was quite frustrating at times, because you think you're at the level, and then you go away for a 6-month tour, and you come back and you're like the back of the group again. But carried on riding as much as I can and could in the army, and I had such a fantastic time of motorcycling in the army. And if I was 16 and leaving school again, I'd do it all again. I'd never be sat here talking to you, doing the Dakar, if it wasn't for the military side of riding either. So it's such a I mean, if you're into sport in the army, they push you to do more, and I was so fortunate to travel, do some amazing riding in some amazing places. So it all sort of stems from that, and meeting all the people I did in the military, and there's still a massive ex-military community of riding and riders still. And I did enduro, motocross trials. I just hovered around all of the disciplines. And then I got out the army, I think it was like 2013. So I did 13 years in the army, and I got out, and I couldn't afford to ride too much then. The real world, I had to do proper jobs, and I ended up actually working in the motorcycle industry for Arena Cross and a company called, it's now the guys who still do Arena Cross, and working for them as on the track and the production side of things. So I was watching bikes and around bikes, but not actually riding them. So I put the first time, I go back a bit, but the first time I applied for a job with Simon Pavey at Off-Road Skills was actually, my dad used to send me TMX and motorcycle news to Iraq, when I was sat there just probably pissed off and had too much sun, and was just a bit meh. What can I do? And I applied whilst I was in Iraq. Actually, I sent a letter and an email, and they basically said, no, you have to be out of the army and come back. And long story short, I came back a fair few years later and applied again, and then started working with Simon. It wasn't an easy process, actually. It's quite funny. There's a lot of stories that go with that, but God, I could sit here talking hours about the
got all night, mate. We got all night.
Basically went for an interview with Simon, and there's like a group of you, and you're like, the army are very good at trying to give you a little bit of not rehab, put you back into civilian life, let's say, because when you're I probably still am very military, but you can take the boy out of the army, but you can't take the army out of the boy. And it was kind of one of those. I was very military. Like the army said, you must turn up into your job interview in a suit, tie, and carrying your CV and all this stuff. And I basically turned up to Off-Road Skills exactly that, in a suit and a tie, and then they go, okay, right, okay, so change the tyre on that. Oh, brilliant. So we're in the workshop changing the tyre, and then we go outside, and then you got Simon Pavey, who's done, you like, oh, this is the guy who's in TBM magazine. He's done all this 10 Dakars. He runs this, all this stuff. I'm like, Simon Pavey, a little bit starstruck as well. And anyway, I was there, and a few other instructors, and they basically said, okay, the scenario is you're teaching Simon how to ride, pull away and stop and ride a motorbike. Okay, well, that'd be quite easy. So I basically said, yeah, jump on the bike, this is the clutch, this is the brake, this is the throttle, and there was a few key words I definitely missed, but I probably should have said, like, oh, when you come to a stop, you need to put the clutch in and use the brakes, because Simon got on this bike, did exactly what I said about putting the clutch in, put it in gear, and rode off literally into the sunset. I was like, brilliant. And then someone else is taking a phone call and someone else is messing around. I'm like, is this really, is this a job interview? So, yeah, I mean, I've been there for 13 years now. So I've been Off-Road Skills. Yeah. So, that, I mean, it's such a rewarding job. I teaching people how to spin, turn, do wheelies and jumps and all that's good fun, but I get such a reward out of teaching the total novices, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so cool, seeing people's faces and being part of their motorcycle journey, because it's great for mental health. It's the biggest mental health boost I think anybody can have. Sometimes for me, I'm on the road, I get a little bit bored, and then I start thinking about emails and this and that, and I got to do this, I've got to do that. But when I'm off road, I'm literally boom. That's all I can think about, and I love that. I love the fact that it's so good. So I mean, I'm very, very lucky with Off-Road Skills and the work we do and the trips we go on. But yeah, ever since that, I mean, I've never really stopped off-road motorcycling. I've not actually, and I've not actually done a proper adventure where it's not been competing. So I can't really call myself an adventure rider. I'm still not a GS wanker.
What?
But yeah, I mean, I've competing this, that, and the other, but that's pretty much my motorcycling up to now. I mean, I've skipped a lot of detail, but that's pretty much where I am.
What is it about the dirt then? What is it about off-road that appeals to you?
I just think it just never ends. There's no ceiling. I mean, once you go on to, I do enjoy riding on the road. Don't get me wrong. It's something that you're not going faster. And the bikes I ride on the road, I've only got a 50cc scooter, so actually I don't ride fast on the road at all. But I have had amazing opportunities to ride with Chris and with Bike World TV and do like cool things on cool bikes. So I get the road side of things, but it doesn't really flick my switches. Until this year, the first time I went to the Isle of Man, and I sort of, you can't comprehend what they do on the road. And so I'm not saying it's just easy on the road and boring. It's not that, especially when you're traveling in beautiful countries. I've always been quite competitive, and that's where I am with off-road. I want to sort of push my boundaries and limits, where I don't think you can do that on the open road so much or so easy or safely. But also, it's just the variety. I think the beautiful places you can ride a motorcycle, you can do on the road, of course, but it's the the path less trodden, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
It's places. We do a Welsh 5-day trip, and one of the days goes around the back of Snowdon, and it's a view that you probably wouldn't get unless you walked. And I'm not walking up there, but on a motorbike, it's fantastic. So yeah, I don't know. A great question, which I can't really answer because I've just done off-road. I've not actually done a massive amount of touring. I've not done a massive amount of... I've done a few track days. That's absolutely brilliant. I love them. Actually, I've got a proper buzz out of that. But it's just me, I think. It's just off-road.
Like, as you were answering the question, I was sat here thinking about it in my own head, actually. And we've never met, but you're plainly a competitive person, and you're plainly a person that likes to push himself. You've entered the most challenging off-road race in the world multiple times. Not only that, you entered the most difficult part of it, the Malle, the unsupported version of it. So you plainly like to push that. You've joined the military, you joined the fire brigade. You like to push yourself. And I totally understand how riding on the road must be quite like almost numbing to you when you can just go and push yourself in the dirt and the off road, and everything's a challenge, I suppose, isn't it? Everything in front of you can turn into a challenge. Malle Moto. If you've not been using Malle Moto, you've not tried it out yet. I've been using it since about 2017, 2018 now. Brilliant bit of kit if you want to try and find new roads, either in your local area, or you go somewhere new and you don't really know. You can just whack it on. You can check how twisty you want the ride to be. You can split it into different sections and have different sections have different twisty meter readings. So you could motorway it on one bit, do a bit of A-road on another, and then chuck it into the backcountry, massive twisty lanes, that sort of stuff for the rest of the journey. It's entirely up to you. Does take a bit of getting used to, so if you have any issues with it, please drop me a line and I'll help you out as much as I can. In the meantime, if you want to give it a go yourself, I've got a couple of codes for you. TeapotOne 10 will get you 10% off the annual subscription. TeapotOne 30 gets you 30 days of the full premium package. Massively helps me out as well, folks. Malle Moto have been one of my main channel sponsors for about the last 5 or 6 years now. So if you use my codes, it lets them know you've come from me. Okay, let's get back to the chat.
I mean, unless you're racing on tarmac, I think you don't get the same buzz as you do off-road. And that's just me personally. Personally, I think to get the adrenaline and to get what I want, the adventure on the road is you've got to then be doing it quite fast. I think, and I think the stuff I have done off road, it just spoils it for everything now, because like the Romaniacs was like unbelievably hard. The Scottish 6 Day, you're going on like these. The Scottish 6 Day trial is unreal. I've done it, I think, 12 times. But you're riding along the West Highland Way and you're doing all these sections, and it's not only is it beautiful, but it's very physical and very challenging. And the 6 Day Enduros all over the world. I've done it in Argentina, like Slovakia, Finland, and all these amazing places that they get you to push you so far out of your comfort zone, and you're going fast and scaring yourself. It's just, I don't think you can get that on the road unless you're riding silly.
From everything you've done, are you still learning, or do you think, okay, I've got this? Is there anything ever that comes in front of you and you're just like,
no, absolutely.
What do we do with this thing?
Yeah, I mean, it happened this year at Dakar. It's yesterday I was watching the best riders in the UK enduro, and multi-world champion Steve Holcomb, who's from Devon. I've rode with him a lot. He's a friend of mine, and I'm proud to say I know him from growing up, from his start of his career and to 9 times world champion now. And I watched him yesterday, and I was shocked. At my level, I'm still like, wow, that is amazing. And Leo says this, Llewellyn Pavey says, like, we are average riders because of the riders we ride with. And it makes sense to us, but when I go, so I used to ride with a lot of my peer group, like my group of friends, and you've got like Alex Snow, Dan Mundell, Steve Holcomb, all these motocross riders, and you're the worst one there. Like, just because I finished Dakar is like, I am very average in my group of friends.
Jeez.
It's mad. I mean, there's 15 instructors at Off-Road Skills. It's unreal. Like the talent, the passion, and I think I mean, in the UK, all the friends I ride with, and it is mad when we say things like this, like we are the worst one in our group, or the average. We are an average rider, but I get it that we're not everybody can finish Dakar or do Dakar, but it's like, I don't know where I'm going with it. It's actually, I'm always learning. Sometimes I go to the practice track and just worry about where my feet are, what I'm doing, about my breathing, my vision, and I'm trying to get better myself. And even when I'm doing a demonstration at work with Off-Road Skills, I try and get better. So I am absolutely perfect. And like at Motorcycle Live, we do 10 days. Me and Ben this year, we're doing four shows a day, round and round in circles. And every time I did a show, I tried to get better and better and better, and do something else, and do another jump, and do another little bit of a skid, or get close to the cone, or like skid around a object. And that's me just not showing off. It's me trying to learn and get better.
That's what makes you the competitor you are, though. I know you're modest, you won't say it, but that's what makes you elite, is that whatever it is, you know, whoever attains a high level, whatever their chosen skill set is, whatever it is that they do, whether it's, you know, writing, painting, riding a motorbike, driving a car, whatever it is, to get to that top level, you have to totally push yourself all the time, don't you? And you are constantly always learning. When you get complacent and just think, right, I've nailed it, that kind of, you're not going to progress anymore, are you?
Yeah, I am. I've been saying, and I say this quite a lot, because our Off-Road Skills, our structure is on the schools, like level 1, level 2 foundation, level 2, level 3. And I say, like, nobody's ever finished level 3. Nobody's ever completed level 3. And I say it a lot, and people are like, because I think nowadays with YouTube, people are coming on and going, I'm level 1, level 2, level 3. Good, I'm trips, and I'm going to go around the world or do Dakar. And anybody who comes to see me and I really want to do Dakar, because the thing is, I don't know if I give this image, or when I'm doing Dakar, people said I make it look quite easy, but I've been training the whole of my life.
People forget that, don't they?
I've been riding since I was, and I'm not an athlete. I mean, I like beer, I like eating, I like socializing, I don't like running. Everybody's like, oh, what fitness are you doing? I'm like, I'm riding motorbikes. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But it's, I had a pilot on my course recently, and he said, oh, you're not a good pilot until you've done 10,000 hours. It's like, oh, I said, is that just flying? He goes, no, that's on a plane. So that's on a specific, and it's like us, like our jobs, like we do it so you do so many hours, you should be good at it. And it's not the fact that other people are gifted or talented or fitter or stronger or whatever. It's just because they put the time in and practice. I remember, like, back in the day when I was in the army, I was used to have a 2 or 3 pallets in a little corner of the workshop, and lunchtime or breaks, I used to get my trials bike out and just go around in figure of 8s and hop around on it and practice, because that's what Dougie Lampkin did. And that's what they were training, and they're out in a stream and riding laps of the stream. And Steve Holcomb's riding laps and laps and laps and laps of enduro tracks, motocross tracks. Motocross riders go and do so much training, and it's just that, like, put the hours in, and that's the biggest, like, for me, the biggest takeaway is just, hey, come and do a level 1 with us, and then go and train. Go and ride your own bike. You don't have to have a 4,000-acre forestry in Wales to play on. You can play in a supermarket car park and do some figure of 8s and do some one-handed slow riding or clutch control exercises, throttle control exercises. There's so much you can do, and I think it's just time on a bike. It's just time. Going back to Dakar, what
What was it that drove you to go, I'm going to do the Dakar? I'm going for this. And then what made you choose the Malle Moto class? So, are you enjoying the podcast? If you are, please let everyone you know about it. Sharing at the moment is the biggest trigger for the algorithm. Obviously, you need to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But if you can just tell one mate about the podcast, share it across to them, that helps tenfold. I love doing the podcast. I'm really trying to grow it this year, and you can help me out by doing that. So I'll love you forever if you do. Whilst I'm on the topic of support, folks, the only reason I can do the podcast and the YouTube channel and everything like that full time is because of my Patreon. In the clan itself, we do meetups, we do live streams. You'll get early access to the vids. You get first choice on the questions on this podcast. And you'll also get exclusive early access to my chicken strips tours when they're released. If you want to check it out, head to patreon.com/TeapotOne. And if there's anything there that takes your fancy, feel free to support me over on there.
It actually all stems from being a youth and being as a kid watching Grandstand on BBC. I remember a really vivid memory of me and my dad watching Dave Thorpe at Farley Castle, motocross world champion, falling off on the first corner and then winning the race. I remember that, but actually in the ad breaks, there was, on BBC, they were just doing some highlights of Dakar that year. And there's a really famous video of, like a Duke video, where there's a rider that launches himself off a dune and then shakes his hand at the cameraman saying, "Why didn't you warn me?" And Hubie Oro, I can't remember the name, but he crashed and there's this desert landscape, and I was like, wow, what is that? I was like Dakar. It's the race from Paris all the way into Africa. I was like, wow, that looks amazing. And they showed a few highlights of the cars and all sorts like that, and it was always then at the back of my mind. Like, it's never really been something I've driven for, because I was so focused on riding trials and playing the Grand Slam or motocross and try and go fast. And it's just you get into your own little bubble, and then working with Cy Pavey, you're just buggered from the moment you walk into Off-Road Skills. You're surrounded by Dakar bikes and memorabilia, and you go to his house and he makes you coffee and puts a Dakar medal down and put your coffee on it. He's blasé about his medals. I'm like, I've got mine tucked away. But yeah, he honestly, he must be. He's got to be taking the piss. But it's it is one of those things. You're like surrounded by just Dakar stories, and then you meet people within that community. Patsy quit. You go and speak to Patsy, and she's so passionate about it as well, rallying, and all the guys who've worked with Cy, and like, you go and do your own little rally journeys, and it's all of a sudden you're hooked, and it's a drug, and you're done for life. There's no going back. It's if I could have that feeling I felt in 2021 finishing the crossing line, I think I sobbed for the last 50k. I was probably cried in my helmet, but my first finish, and if I could have a sip of that feeling I felt on the finish, going across the finish line, like once a month, I'd never have to do it again. But you have that feeling, and it only lasts a year, so that's why I'm going back again this year or next year after this year. So yeah, there's a long answer to that, but really it's always been there, because the desert landscape, and like, we obviously don't get many deserts in the UK, especially not down in North Devon, and there's not many sandy places to ride. So the desert always captivated me, and it still does. It draws me back. It's a special place, and I'd say anybody who has the opportunity to go on a trip to Morocco or hire a bike in Dubai, or get out in the desert, and it will grab hold of you, and you won't want to leave it go. Because riding around in Wales is absolutely stunning, and I'm so lucky. I'm not blasé about it. I love it. That's why I've moved to Wales. It's stunning, but the desert is something special.
Yeah, Morocco is a real special place. I've been there quite a few times now, and even done that off-road lark. Not to nowhere near your level, just piddling about on the trails. But the desert.
But it's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's well
like
outside
when you
my
go out
comfort
into the
zone.
desert. But just nipping into the sand or a sandy trail, that's the equivalent of your, like, if you've never touched off-road at all, that's like massive. And I try and tell people that. It's like, if you see a sandy trail and you've never gone up it and you're tempted and you've got the skills to turn around and stuff like that, it's an adventure, and it is all relative. It's like, that's your Dakar, you know what I mean? It's a cool place, but it's scary as well. You can be pretty remote pretty quickly.
It's like one of the last wildernesses, accessible wildernesses left, really, isn't it? The desert, because you can
I reckon
you can very easily get yourself in a lot of stum out there. you don't need to.
You
don't need to be miles away in the middle of nowhere in the dunes, like in Morocco. You go to Merzouga, and you don't need to go very far from where the little hotels and stuff are, and all of a sudden you're in that talcum powder sand, and it's 48, 49 degrees, remote, and your bike sinks. You're like, oh shit, what am I going to do now?
But stuff can go wrong pretty quickly, can it? It's scary.
Yeah. But it's a special place. I do like Morocco. It's a lot of fun. Malle, could you describe to people who don't know, what is the Malle Moto class in the Dakar?
So it's the totally unsupported class. It's totally unsupported. The organisers support you by taking your box, a bike stand, a mat, your tent, a kit bag, and a spare set of wheels and some tyres. You're limited to 6 rear tyres. You're limited to the amount of stuff you can carry. The box is only, once you've got some recovery drinks, some energy powders, some tools, some spares, some little bits and pieces to make your life a little bit more comfortable. Space soon goes. So 1 kit bag and the box, a set of spare wheels and some tyres and mousses. So that's you really, and living in like a compound with your competitors. So I think this year there was 28. Original by Motul is sponsored by the oil brand Motul now, so it's called Original by Motul, but it's always going to be like known as Malle Moto. And if anybody's seen any of Lyndon Poskett's stuff and videos, then you'd see what it's about. And basically, you're still in the overall standings, but you're just unsupported. Everything has to be you. So changing tires, working on the bike, you've got to do yourself. Competitors are allowed to help each other, so I can help your friend with you, but it's all on you really, and it's where my romance started from. It's you against the terrain and looking after the bike and your body. You haven't got your camper van, your physios. I mean, you can get physio from the organisers. But now it's really, you're so busy. Your time's definitely spent looking after your body and your bike. But it is cool. It's you've got really good camaraderie. You make some amazing friends. You're all helping each other. But my goal's always like trying to get to the top 5. And I came 6th. This year I think I was like 11th or something. But this year I was a bit steady. Not making excuses, but I was nursing the bike and going a bit steadier, and I've got a fresh 1 year old, so she was on the back of my mind. And I think, it's such a cool class because it's just so close knit, and it is you against the terrain, the bike, and just keeping a good sort of routine going, looking after yourself, and especially the bike. I mean,
I listened to, I think it was a TAM podcast, either the first or second time you were on there. I think it was the second time with the Searles brothers, Craig and Carl. And you put it into perspective when you described what some of the big days are like. And you said it was something like, was it like Devon to London, road to get to then rally ride it up to like Newcastle, and then Newcastle to Glasgow or something to finish to get to Bouvet.
Yeah, it's unreal when you look at it in UK spec sort of things. I mean, it is unreal. It's like, wow. So the total distance, like from London to China, was 8,000 k. The longest day was just under 1,000 k, which is, I don't know.
Is that 1,000 k total or 1,000 k just off road?
No, it was a total. It was not just all off road. I think it was a long day on a bit of the road. It's exactly that. So leave Exeter and go up the 303. And up the M3 into London, all on the road. So Exeter to London on the road. It may start at like 4 o'clock, let's say 4:30. So motorway, so it's like 120, 130k. You're usually doing about my comfy speed was like 115 on that Honda. Kilometers, I don't know what's that.
70 mile an hour, 65, 70.
Yeah. 70, yeah, 60, 70 mile, yeah. So around that, and you're on a 450 single, so it's not that comfortable. You got no wind protection, and it's bloody cold, like really cold. At that time, as soon as the sun comes up, it's lovely, but it starts getting better and better. But yeah, so 4 in the morning, let's say, wake up call. Just quick, brush your teeth, get your kit on, go for breakfast. I was on a morning routine, so I had I like just a bit of a get your body in a routine, have a poo in the morning for me. Have as much food as you can, but you can't get it down yet. Get your tent away, pack all that away. But the problem was the truck takes your tent, but there's only one truck. So if the truck's got to do 1,000 k, they have to leave earlier, so sometimes they'd wake you up at 3 o'clock, so you'd have to get your kit on, pack your tent up, go to sleep again for an hour next to your bike or in the cookhouse, and then set your alarm again, get up. I mean, that's the worst day. So let's go. The worst day was, like 3 o'clock up, pack your tent away, pack your kit. So I put my my riding kit on then, and then go try and grab another 40 minutes sleep, and then wake up, sort yourself out, have as much breakfast as you can, and then get on your bike, ride. So yeah, the equivalent of Exeter to London. Get to London, and I always carried an army ration pack. Stuck that in my engine up somewhere on the frame, so it warmed up. So when I got there, so it was nice warm beans, halal chicken sausages, of course. I had I've got a lot of good mates in the army still sorted me some desert rations, so I took them with me, and then so I'd be eating that every morning. I give some to Carl and Craig actually, and then you then go from London as fast as you can up to, let's say, Newcastle. Off-road, all off-road. You get a neutralization, so halfway in the day you need fuel, so there's a 15-minute stop. You're not allowed to work on your bike. All you can do is change canisters in your body armor if that's deployed with the inflatable. You can have a visual on your bike, but not touch it with any tools. Have an energy bar. So I carried a muesli bar and so a pack of peanuts or something in my pocket. And then fuel the bike up, then go again, get up to Newcastle, and then the stage done. Usually there was like a bit of catering at the end of the stage where you could have a quick sort of rice and chicken or something. It was really quite healthy. Then get on the road from Newcastle up to Edinburgh or Glasgow, and then pack your tent. So I had a bit of a routine then. So I'd straight away get back to the bivouac, and they give you a packed lunch. I'd sit down next to my red box, eat my packed lunch. I'd then go and set my tent up, and I'd always do the things exactly the same. So I'd always lay my tent up, out, put my kit bag in there. I'd then take my riding kit off and air it off in the same way. Take my body armor off and charge it. And then I'd go and work on my bike from the ground up. So change your tyres. Sometimes you just change wheels, but you'd always, because some rear tyres had to do 2 days. But there was a few marathon stages, which were great for me, because I didn't have to work on the bike so much. And then So tyres, oil filter, air filter, nut and bolt check. And then by that, it should be around 5-6 o'clock-ish, maybe 7. I'll try and go in to get a bowl of pasta, because like the catering's 24/7 and they've always got a pasta bar. Get us some pasta, then go and get some physio. So try and get a little bit of a rub up, or get any aches or pains. I'd probably go and see Carl and Craig and take the piss out of them for a little bit. And then from then on, I'd then go back to the cookhouse and have a good meal, as much as I could. Then have a good shower, and then go back, do a little bit of social media. Like, I set my alarm for like 10 minutes. I'd like probably do an Instagram post and just sort of talk to people. And then the last thing I'd do is FaceTime Sarah and Mia and the family and just say, hey, I'm all good. Love you. Good night. And I'd then put these in, and I had noise cancelling the headphones because I could put it under my helmet when I'm on the roads to stop the wind noise, and listen to podcasts. These are great. I can listen to podcasts, and I stupidly set up a Spotify account that I went public and said, hey, add what you want to this, but I couldn't change it. So when I'm on the bike and there was nursery rhymes, I've got like silly songs. But it made me smile. So, but yeah, that's the average day. But where I was going with that, I put these in because the bivouac was so noisy, like unbelievable noise. Like, the noise going on. There's welding going on. There's grinding. There's cars testing. There's trucks coming in at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I put these in, and I was always worried I wouldn't wake up because I was scared I was going to miss my alarm, but I never did. I was like super, like the alarm went off, I was up and ready and excited to ride again. A few times I'd go to sleep with these on and like roll over, and it pressed it, and the music would come on, and take them out and then go back to sleep. But no, that's your average day. So you do that 13 days.
You make that sound. Make that sound so easy. You know, it's just routine. But like if anything goes wrong with your bike, you know, say you're, like you just said there, 1 o'clock in the morning, some of the lorries the trucks are turning up. Something happens on your bike and you don't get to the bivouac till late. And then you've got to do everything that you've just said and deal with whatever's happened to your bike. I mean, there must be some people that don't sleep. Yeah. They're just, I remember Lyndon Poskett was saying that. That's the first time he did it. I think he said that's what broke him, was he just didn't have his shit in order, basically, when he got to the bivouac, and he just wasn't getting enough sleep, and that broke him.
Yeah, I'm from the military. I remember the biggest thing is sleep when you can, eat when you can. I'm really good at eating, and I'm pretty good at sleeping. So like, all joking aside, I rode at a level where I wouldn't cry. I had some massive crashes. I have had some big crashes because it's the desert and it kicks you in the ass sometimes. But I rode well within my comfort zone. I did ride a little bit too slow at places when then it becomes dangerous because the cars catch you, and I'm sure there'll be questions about cars and mental. But so you've just got to be like routine. But sometimes shit happens, and sometimes that's a knock-on effect. And once something out of your control happens, then it's sometimes a spiral of events that can cause such problems. And that spiral of events that's when you're not sleeping. This year there was definitely guys who slept in the dunes. Once trying navigating in the dunes at dark is it's near impossible and dangerous sometimes. So they chose to go to sleep. As long as you make your next day's start time, we're good. And Dakar are pretty good at making a really, really hard day before, or a marathon stage and a hard day just before rest day. And so this year there was guys coming in lunchtime on the rest day. So they spent the night in the dunes. And it's purely that, either riding too slow or lost or a problem. So you try and mitigate anything that can go wrong. You can't. It's never gonna. I've had my swinging arms bolt, the long bolt that goes through the engine and the swinging arm snap. And I had it I did the 2021. I was like, looked down and I felt something in my boot, and it was a big bolt, and I was like, oh no, this is not good. But stuff like that. Then so I managed to hammer it out, to hammer it into a place where it would stay, lock wire in place so it couldn't come out any further, because I had to grab the swinging arm, put the seat on my chest, put the swinging arm in and hold it and hit it with a rock to get it back in. And once I'd got it back in, I lock wired around where it could slide back out. And then when I got to an area that I could get another one, I'd managed, there was a KTM truck. I went straight there and they had one and I just put it in. But then I put it in on a dirty bike with without grease, with a little bit WD-40. So that night, then you have to strip it all, take the swing, put a new one back in, torque it properly. So that whole process adds hours, and that then you might miss something else, and then something else, and then as you get tired, it's absolutely. And me and James Hilly were just joking. You just gotta keep it simple, stupid. Keep it, everything is as simple as you can. I don't take more than, I'm very military with that. Don't take more than 5 things out of your bag. Don't take more than 5 things out of your toolbox. Just be really methodical how you do. That's why I work from the bottom up. I do the same routine. I put my gloves in exactly the same place. I put my ears in exactly the same place. My phone's always on charge there in the same place.
Everything's done then. You know where everything is.
And sleep.
Yeah.
I do, yeah. And you've got to have a checklist. Even when you're tired, even though I know it says change oil, I look at that and tick it off. So that stuff's really important, to be methodical and have a routine. And then you can sleep. So then you should be better for this. It definitely doesn't always go that way, though. It goes to shit real quickly.
You folk that excel, that do well, particularly in things like the Dakar, and even when you listen to the TT guys chat about it, it's also matter of fact. You come away thinking, I could give that a bash, and then you suddenly, then your head starts trying to compute what it is you're actually doing. You're like, yeah, it's not a chance that's going to happen, is it? But you just make it look effortless, you guys. I've got to say.
You've got to do it. You've got to just, even if it's the first time, I don't know, you've gone to the ABR for a few years, but you've never gone off on the off-road trail, and that's your what you want to do, and you've sometimes just got to commit and do it. But it's that jump into it. It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've got to go for it sometimes, don't you? You were talking about navigation there. I mean, I can chat about Dakar with you all night, but we've got a load of questions to get through, so I'm conscious about time. And people who are going to be a lot more invested in Dakar and off-road than I am will have much better questions than me, so we'll cover it when we do that. Navigation, for anyone that's not aware, you're not talking like a TomTom or a Garmin here. You go via something called a road book. Could you describe the road book to people?
I'll try and send you I'll send you a copy of one. I've got a little bit left of 2021 when it was a paper road book, but it's all gone digital now. So the road book is it's definitely not easy, and you definitely cannot, people say, is it in that sort of from the top 10 down, you must be following tracks. It's Saudi, there's hundreds of tracks, and I've got a bit of helicopter footage from this year on just sheetrock. So the sheetrock you don't leave any marks. So you've got to be good at navigation. And when people say I want to do Dakar, I'd say, firstly, don't worry about rally riding. Get really comfortable riding a motorbike and go and challenge yourself, punish yourself, and get experience outside a rally before you go and do a rally. Because the goal is you want to be totally comfortable with your riding, so you've got brain space to navigate. And that's what makes the better riders in rally so good, that they're riding way beyond my level, but they can still navigate to It's really good. Like Ricky Brabeck and all these guys, Benavides, Sam Sunderland, and like all the legends, even in the cars, Nanny Roma and people like that. They are unbelievable navigators. And so you've got a trip distance, or and then a picture, a drawing of a tulip, which they call. It's basically an arrow. If it's a rock and around an arrow, they draw the rock, or a tree. There was actually, you said dead camel, but it moved by the time I got there, I think. Yeah. But and then you've got maybe a note that says a caution or a cap heading. So a cap heading to follow. And then you've got waypoints. It's so difficult to talk about navigation and get anybody to really fathom what you're doing. I say, imagine driving absolutely flat out in London, in the traffic, weaving in and out of traffic. You've got cyclists, pedestrians, cameras, traffic lights, and you're reading a novel on your phone whilst drinking a coffee and doing your makeup. There's so much going on.
That's every day for some people.
I mean, even like on yeah, exactly. And like, even like with so much going on, you've got to focus on the ground ahead and what that note says. I'm pretty simple, so I just focus on the one note. Some of the riders can like remember 2 or 3, but not a chance for me. I'm like, right, I'm going up here for 10k, then I'm turning left at a T-junction, and then after the T-junction there's an off-piste, and I'm traveling at 330. I mean, there's so much going on, and that's the sort of information. I'll show you some. I haven't got any in here, but I definitely have some. I can send you some images, and you can put some on maybe, and yeah, and I'll send you a paper one. So it's quite cool to look and have a go. Like, I'd say anybody listening, go and have a go at roadbook. Like, there's a few in the UK. There's loads in people who do it. But also there's a place called Wim Motors Academy in Portugal, which I went to go and train at. They've got 350k roadbooks, no gates, no nothing. You can just ride all day. You can ride with your mates. You can do GPS, or you can do traditional roadbook, and that gives you a real sort of like, wow, that's hard. And it's pretty difficult, because especially if you're a little bit like worried about your own riding, then you can't really focus on your riding and the road book. You've got to be at one with the bike and to really enjoy it. That's what I say about why do people want to do road training or off-road training, is because you want to be able to ride an adventure bike and look at the scenery. And if you can ride along going, oh, wow, what a beautiful place I'm riding at. Or if you're, instead of going, oh, what's in front of me? There's rocks. Then, I mean, that's what motorcycling is about, is enjoying your surroundings. And what's Steve McQueen say is, when you're driving a car, you're watching the movie. When you're riding a motorbike, you're in the movie. You're starring in the movie. Yeah. It's the smells, the wind, the noise, everything. That's why we ride motorbikes, isn't it?
Yep, definitely. Right. How about we start tackling some questions? Because I know there's questions about fire brigades, questions about all sorts. So.
No worries.
Right, the way I do it is I pose the first question, and it's the same question every week to every guest. And that is, I describe Bru Time as a relaxed conversation podcast exploring what it really means to live your life through honest conversations with people who choose more. When you hear that, what does choosing more mean to you?
Just choosing more in life in general, and choose it. Just get out of your comfort zone and go and commit to things. Just go and have fun, because life's short, and you've one day you can be driving to work and one day you're not here. So you can't choose when you go anywhere. So you don't put anything off. Go and do it. Just commit. I'll never have the money to do Dakar, but while I've got my fitness or health, I will do it as many times as I can, because I love it. And if just choosing to ride a little bit of off-road is your equivalent, go and bloody do it. If you've never done a track day, go and do it. If you've never rode a trials bike, go and do it. And I mean, we're just talking motorcycles, but in life, I just say, jump in and just try, commit.
Wring as much out of the sponge of life as you possibly can.
Absolutely, yeah. Got to enjoy it.
Okay, so first lot, we'll head across to my patrons, the clan, I call them, over on patreon.com/TeapotOne. First one, Andy. Evening, gents. Hope this finds you well. My first question for Neil. If you were put in charge of the Dakar, what would you change and why? Ooh.
Good question.
Appreciate you might need to be a bit diplomatic considering you're an active competitor.
I mean, they do a bloody good job. So ASO is the company, our Marie Sport Organisation. They do 3 events a year that are pretty big: Tour de France, Dakar, and a PGA Golf Tour. So they're a very, very big company, and they do things very, very well. Now, my only sort of thing with it is once you go to these countries, I really like it to be very, very different. I think it's nice to have a variety and keeps the excitement up. Not that they do the same route, they can't. They've got a massive country to work in. But with the 6-day enduro, it's a different country each year. I know that with the Dakar, it's totally not feasible, but it'd be cool to, like, once in a while, just go, like, I don't know, to Australia or to, like, multiple European. Like, I was quite excited this year, actually, with, and it sounds really bad, and I don't want to come across that I was excited for it to move because of the trouble in the Middle East. But there was rumours that it was going to go back to Paris, and start in Paris, go through France, into Spain, into Portugal, back into Spain, to Morocco, and back again to Spain and Portugal. That would have been mega, I thought. And that really got me excited, and that's one of the reasons why I ended straight away. Without even, like, committing or thinking, like, without any thought of anything else, I thought, do you know what? That'd be pretty cool if it doesn't go back and it's something different because of the troubles. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be cool if they just had, like, 5-year deals or less, or even if they got a 5-year deal, have a one-off year that they all, like, okay, we're going to Mongolia and we're doing the Dakar across there, or we're going, like, logistics is huge what they do, and it's unreal how they do it and how they operate. They are so good, but it's for me, it'd be like just a cheeky Australia or something like that.
So they do it with Tour de France, don't they? I mean, they've taken that to Norway. They've taken it to the UK. They do special legs of it, don't they? So, I mean,
yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to do something a little bit different.
Logistics, though.
You've got to have the land. And the logistics, it's the country. The Saudi's huge, and do you know what? It's a fantastic. Everybody's preconceptions about the country away it's unreal for riding motorbikes. It is. I'd love just to go riding with my mates around the dunes we go to, because they are flipping massive. And there's, like, I've never gone to a dune, like, looked down and gone, oh, I don't know how to ride down this, or looked at a dune and gone, cool, I don't know how to get up here. So and that was a few times this year, and I was like, wow, that's cool. It's still challenging.
I was chatting, there's one of my patrons is a Western chap who lives out in Saudi. I was chatting to him, and he was telling me the road riding out there is fantastic. And I was like, is it not really flat? And he said, no, up in the north, we've got like alpine regions. He says there's actual, like, Switzerland style roads up the top.
Yeah, greenery and, like, proper oasis. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I might have to take a little trip out there and chew some tarmac. I quite like that.
You just can't have a beer at the end of riding. That's all.
Yeah.
I think things are changing. I think they're trying to get more sport and Western sort of ways, like, that come with the sports and stuff like that into Saudi, which is, like, it will bring a change, and it will bring other things, because it is a hell of a place to ride bikes.
Because Morocco, it makes me laugh, because Morocco is supposed to be it's a Muslim country, it's supposed to be a dry country, but they've got their own beer. They brew their own beer. And when you're there, they can always find, if they like you, they will find beer and bring beer to you. That's what I like. I always find if you're in a group and anyone's rude to any of the locals, you ain't getting beer. It's not happening. You can be the nicest guy in the world, but they're just not gonna bring you beer. But if they like you, they just turn up with beer. You want a beer? I'll bring you beer. You're like, where's this come from? It's awesome. I kind of thought Saudi might be a bit like that, like there's ways and means.
Definitely not. Definitely, you'd never had a cold beer after doing Dakar.
All received. Second question from Andy. With all the Dakar-inspired bikes available now, what do you think the future holds for the sport?
I don't think they can get much better. I think so. It's limited to 450. Single as well, because if there was a twin, I'd probably go on the BMW. I'd give it a go.
Would you?
A laugh. It'd be a cool project making it into, it'd be really cool to make it into a rally bike and do a project, especially like the affiliations with BMW and Off-Road Skills. It'd be really a really cool project, but unfortunately the new 450's a twin, and I've already discussed that. So, but I don't know what they can do to the bikes. They are so good. Like, they are really fast, really stable, really reliable, and they are built for that one thing. They're not great at trail riding around Wales or doing it. I always say it's like, not that I've done a lot of it, is driving a Ferrari through London. It'd be pretty shit, wouldn't it? It'd be like, it would overheat, the clutch would be weird. It's like, it just wouldn't work. And that's what riding a rally bike anywhere else other than like Dakar or the desert, I mean, they just don't work. So to answer the question, it's a difficult question to answer, because I think they've got to the place now where it's a safety thing that they're using smaller bikes. Not the speed they go now is still the same as a big bike, but they are just more stable. Yeah, I don't know what the future holds, to be honest, because they are super reliable, they're fast, they're strong. How do you make it any different? I don't know. Yeah.
I suppose
I don't think I can answer that.
Is the biggest sort of innovation you've seen in the Dakar then the use of, like, everyone seems to be wearing these air vests now? Is that like compulsory? Is that a compulsory piece of equipment?
Absolutely, yeah, and they're great. I think if I had one in 2020, I wouldn't have like knocked myself out, or might knock myself out, but I wouldn't have broke myself so bad. I think they're great, and mine went off twice this year. It's 85 quid per canister, and being so tight, I was like, oh, the crash just cost me 85 quid. But I mean, that definitely saved me. I had two, so it happened I set my airbag off twice this year, and they were big crashes. Like, one was at slow speed and one was at fast speed. The slow speed one, I went over the top of a dune, getting out of the way of a car, and just, and then the second one was a high-speed swap and hit the deck pretty hard, and it definitely saved me. So the technology with the road books being digital, the inflatable body armor, and the safety systems. Like, the safety system is what you pay for. Not even like you're remote, like we discussed, but you're so safe when it comes to having an accident. I came up to a few this year, and the safety systems was working straight away. I stopped. You get your time back as a rider. You're always going to stop no matter what. If you see someone by the side, even if they're walking, talking, or stop to have a wee, you wait for the thumbs up. You ride, you slow down. You're right. No worries. Yeah. If they don't, you stop. And this guy I saw the crash, and it was a big pile of dust, big yard sale. Got there, he was knocked out, and his beacon was going off already. His error tracker system. Basically, it's got an accelerometer in there, so it knows when you've had a big moment, and knows when you're stopped. and you can press a button if you're on your own and you're out. It will
automatically activate.
Send a helicopter. Yeah, and if not, like I press mine basically because mine was working. His was pretty bad, and so I press mine and said, "Hey, Ryder, yes, I'm Neil. I'm with number 40. He's had a big crash." He goes, "Yeah, no worries. We've seen where you are. There'll be a helicopter on their way." And
wow.
I think it was, so I looked at my time, which I got back, and it was like 5 minutes. At the time, it seemed like a long time. Like, it must have been 10 minutes. But by the time the helicopter landed and there was a doctor with him and I got my helmet on and rode off, it was like 5 minutes.
That's incredible, isn't it?
And that's unbelievable. Incredible. It's absolutely. So the organisation of 13 helicopters this year. Each helicopter's got a doctor on, a journalist, a videographer. But they all. So you think if you've got the first bike finishing in Glasgow and the last buggy or the last truck starting in Exeter, and you've got the whole field, 500 competitors, the length and breadth of the UK, and you're like, you can be seen within 5 minutes. That's pretty incredible.
The logistics. I mean, just when you put it like that, the logistics for them to cover that race, for everything, for the...
It's mad. Yeah, it really is.
The safety, the communications, the marketing and media, because everything's just, it's so current now, like it's on your phone, on Instagram, like as it's happening almost, isn't it? It's just nuts how it all happens now.
Yeah, it's mad. I've got a private WhatsApp group, and there's like people, like if anybody sponsors me and they get onto I'm going to do a Dakar club this year where you pay in, you get a raffle for my enduro, raffle to win my enduro bike, and then you get into the WhatsApp group and you get this and that and the other. And basically they were all chatting away, and you see them through the day, and that's why sometimes I read it, sometimes I'm like, it depends how busy I am, but it's so cool. It's like someone at work taking a picture of their two screens, one doing emails and one tracking me, and it's like, I love it. I've got so many. I think I can't remember how many were in that WhatsApp group, but it was absolutely amazing, and it makes me proud to have that support, and I love it. And the fact that they can track you and know where you are, and there's pictures getting sent, and there's people watching it live, and this, that, and the other. It's such a... Yeah, and like I said, nothing else happens in January, so you may as well go and do something. And it's rubbish weather here in the UK, and
I've got this image in my head now of you doing the Dakar, where you're riding along on the dunes, listening to the TAM podcast on Spotify, checking your WhatsApp as you're doing the Dakar. That pretty just easy, isn't it? It's no bother. It's easy.
Well, yeah, I love it.
He's got one for me. Andy's got a question for me. One for Bruce. Having been known for taking a race replica on a long ride, which road, race, circuit, or track would you ride a Dakar bike around, and why? Blimey, a Dakar bike. Cool. I mean, I live down the road from Brands. Brands is like 20 minutes from me. So that's nice and easy. And it's a nice short lap as well. Or I do like Cadwell. Cadwell's a lot of fun. I don't know what.
Is that the hilly one?
It's the one that's got the mountain. Yeah. So it's like two set.
Yes,
it's got like a real big open, like a short circuit section, and then it's almost like a go-kart sort of track. The other half of it's quite nice. It's a lot of fun. That.
That's cool.
I don't care. I don't know what you're like, but I genuinely don't care what type of bike I ride. I just like riding a bike. I don't care if it's I don't think I've ever ridden a 50cc, but a 125. I love what little 125s, and then I love, I've got 1300 in my garage. And, I just love bikes. I just love riding a bike, 2 wheels and an engine, off you go. I'm not particularly good at it.
That's why we're talking, isn't it? Exactly why we're talking is what you do. It's why you do what you do, and it's motorbikes, isn't it? You can talk to anybody, and someone sent me a meme or something, like a video the other day of when you make like your missus's work friend's barbecue and try to speak to their partners, and none of them ride bikes, and they're talking about football or something, and you're like, nah, I'm off. Cheers.
These aren't my people. Andy says, congratulations on the 200 mark. Here's to the next 200. Thank you very much, Andy. Yeah, this is a 200th episode of Bru Time. So
that's awesome. Well done. That's mega.
I had Lyndon Poskett on for the 100th one. So there seems to be a recurring theme here.
Oh, brilliant.
Mad Leprechaun. Good evening, gentlemen. Can you teach an old dog new tricks? What skill have you learned, motorcycles or non-motorcycle, that you didn't think you ever would?
Geez.
They're good questions, aren't they? These folk, I mean, I love it.
Yeah. You can go first on that one then. Go for it.
Skill.
Drop your shoulders. Go on.
New skill. I think the ability to just talk with people. Because growing up, I was an introvert growing up. You know, I'd be the person, you know, at the school disco or when you went clubbing, I'd be the person at the sideline. You know what I mean? Like, not particularly trusting of people, not very gregarious or open. I would just be at the sideline watching, seeing what's going on. But I think through life and life experience, especially joining the Old Bill, being in the Old Bill for a long time, and then traveling, I think you become comfortable, don't you, in your own skin. And well, certainly in the Old Bill and emergency services, you have to be. There's no room for a shrinking violet. You've got to get on with things. And, you know, both, I'm here. I need you to do this. Let's make that happen. Let's go. And then travel. Yeah. I think travel, and I imagine, you know, doing competition the way you do, it gives you some confidence, some self-confidence, doesn't it? It's like you see a mountain in front of you, whatever that is, and you have to figure out a way over that mountain, round it, under it, however you do it. And you do that, and you suddenly think, oh, I'm capable, I can do that. So the next time there's a challenge, you're like, okay, right, let's bring this on. That's just life, isn't it? Life just develops you. You either embrace life and go for it, and you grow as a person, and your skill set improves, or you stay that shrinking violet and you let life just tumble over the top of you, you know. So I think that.
You've nailed that. I think.
For me, I think that. I never thought I would be doing this, certainly this podcast and stuff and YouTube, but I am, and I enjoy it. So
awesome. No, I mean, that kind of resonated with me a little bit with being quite shy, actually. Believe it or not, I am, I suppose, I do get quite shy, and I look down, and you'll notice it when I'm sort of talking to like people like in the motorcycle live shows and stuff. I'm quite quick to keep my helmet on and walk away into the changing room or something, and sometimes I walk out if my helmet's not on. I'm my head's down a little bit, and learning to be a little bit more like confident and about me, because I don't know, that's kind of what you said was very pertinent with me. And for me, learning wise, I definitely want to be a better father, and I think I've discussed this with my daughter, who's 17 now, and I think she's kind of understands, and I even said it to my ex-wife, like, we were young and very selfish, and motorcyclists and or people who want to try and do something like Dakar and have their narrow-minded sort of, that's what my goal is, are very selfish and has to be very selfish. So I'm learning to be a better father and be around more, and I'm really enjoying sort of being a father again, and I'm really, really enjoying it. She's amazing, and she's got no choice but to love motorcycles, and she loves it. But that's one thing I'd like to get better at. But the other thing is always a little bit of that I feel like I can be good at, but I'm not at a level in motorcycling in competition where I can execute it the way I want it to. But it's the sports psychology and
froze. Oh, you're back.
I'm back. Sports psychology and being a little bit better at not only messing with people's heads, but being better in my own head. I let a lot of people get in my head this year with Dakar, with the Honda. I then rode like Miss Daisy for most of the time because of that, and it's always in the back of my mind. People were saying, "Oh, it's not very strong. It needs this. It needs that. It's not proven. You're going to have to do a piston on rest day. You're going to have to do a clutch." And I wish I just didn't listen to anybody and just rode the way I know I can ride. But I think that a lot of that stems from being strong in your own mind and either knowing the product or knowing like your own ability and believing in yourself. And I really, really like the sports psychology and getting in people's heads, but not only from a personal sort of selfish, like a personal way, but also getting better at teaching people. Because I've had people like, nah, point blank, I'm not going down that hill. I am not doing that. And me being a coach and off-road instructor, I want to get much better at learning different ways. I mean, there is obviously a lot of different ways people learn, but to be better, to get in people's heads a little bit better and being a better teacher when it comes to off-road, because I've had it when people are absolutely so scared, they're shaking. I've had people in tears. I've had and it's like learning how to cope with that and deal with that to make them enjoy, because ultimately we're just enjoying bloody motorbikes. We're not saving the world. We're not curing cancer. We're riding motorbikes. So let's have fun doing it. But it's to learn how to do that better would be cool.
That's got to be very difficult, that, because people handle stress differently, don't they? And there'll be people who will have a complete and utter breakdown just at the thought of doing something, but they're capable of doing it. They can do it. But then there'll be other people who will be having that complete and utter breakdown, and they're genuinely not capable. It's like, how do you identify? Well, not capable is the wrong word, but they're not. Like, or do you think, are there people that can and there are people that just can't? You know. Do you think is that true? Or is everybody capable of doing something if they're pushed?
No, I'm never going to be a piano player. I don't know. I think if someone I'm going to, I'm never going to be Prime Minister. I'm never going to be this.
Not with an attitude like that, you won't.
But when it comes to exactly, that's what. Okay, I'm never going to be 9 stone. I don't know. Yeah,
even my right leg isn't 9 stone, so that's just not happening.
It's one of those things. I don't know where I'm going with it, but as people say, you're not born with a natural talent. Say you've got to put hours into it. So natural talent. Well, I don't know. It's if you're always seeing your parents or your peers, your people, your friends riding motorbikes, and you're not a motorcyclist, then you've already got some sort of understanding. So when you apply yourself to it, then it just takes hours, doesn't it? And the person who spends the most hours is the better one. That's all. So maybe to answer your question, you are right. We can all do everything.
Let's get out there and practice. Mark says, keep up the fantastic work, Bruce, and congratulations on the 200th Bru Time podcast. Thank you very much, Mark. Next one, Patrick Hennessy. Hello to you both. First off, Bruce, big congratulations on the 200th milestone. Great achievement indeed. Thank you very much. Neil, regarding the Chinese manufacturer's involvement in the Dakar Rally now, how long do you feel it will be before they take a stage win or in time win the event itself? Good question.
Great question. Do you know what? What were we like, 60 years ago when we all said, the Japanese bikes, they won't last.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Was it left-hand kickstart? So it's right. Yeah, it's all very familiar. I think, do Do you know what? The Chinese bikes are really good. I've been fortunate enough to ride some. I've also been fortunate to be asked to, if I want to ride one. I think the best motorcycle is the one you're on. Whether it can finish Dakar at that high level or be in the top, I think you'll have to push just to. The problem is none of them high level riders are just going to jump across to a manufacturer like that without a lot of money or them coming at the end of their career. Does that make sense? So I think it's going to be very difficult for them guys to win Dakar just purely because the riders aren't there. If they start now and start a training thing with some real good talent, if they suddenly went to, I don't know, like British Enduro Championship riders like Dan Mundell, let's say, he's young, he's fit, he's keen, he's a hell of a talent. But if they said, right, we'll give you a 5-year program, in 5 years' time, we want you to win Dakar, then I think it can happen with a lot of time and effort. Or someone like Steve Holcomb with going on to a Sherco, like if he went on to that rally team for Sherco in a few years' time, he could win it. But it's finding the right people and getting them to on the bike, because the bike can do it. I've no doubt that the bikes can do it. The bike's capability is the rider's mindset to go with a Chinese brand.
I didn't think about that, what you said. You're right. It's not just about the money, is it? Because by their very nature, the top elite riders want to win. So they don't, why would they take that chance to go with an unknown? Go with like an outside manufacturer that hasn't got a proven track record. As you said, you could give them all the money. You could match their financial package, if you like. But as a person who actively wants to win and does win, you wouldn't, you're not going to have that faith, are you? You don't want to take that chance. No,
it's the whole team. Look at the KTM team, the people they've got there, from the sports physios, the mechanics, the team managers, the support riders, the test riders, and the elite team. They're all pros, and they're all so high up in that profession that the talent and just isn't going to speak for itself. You've got to have the massive team. Dakar's all about the people around you and the team with you. So it's a difficult one, I think. But if they started a program now and work for a timeline, it could definitely happen. But there's a hell of a lot of R&D testing. Like the testing that KTM do is unreal. Like speaking to some of the guys, they go out to like Morocco, dry riverbed, which is, I don't know, 50k. And they've got all of the riders there, and they'll test the bike to destruction. So all the riders know exactly that bike will finish Dakar flat out. So they get all of them. So let's say there's 8 of them. They spend 2 or 3 days going up. So 100k up, flat out. Oh, 50k up, flat out. 50k back down, flat out. Change. Don't turn the bike off. Just refuel it. Get another rider on. Do the same. And they do that till it blows up. So then, if it blows up at 230 hours, all of them riders at that top level know this bike can go flat out the way I want to ride it for twice as long as Dakar's going to do. Because Dakar, I think I had 111 hours on my bike, but I was probably 8 hours behind the leader. So
8 hours
over the 13 days. So it's insane what testing they do.
That's a good point, that, isn't it? It's the psychological part of racing, isn't it? They know that bike will do it, so they're going to do it. There's no, oh God, well, do I need to ease off now? It's like, right, the bike can do it, so let's just go. Are they literally just flat out? Is that what the difference is between the top
pretty much
ones?
They are. They're on it. I mean, it's not all fast, but a lot of Dakar is wide open for them, and it depends on obviously what gears you're in. The dunes, you're like third, fourth, second, third, fourth, fifth. But on the flat out stuff, it's like always like 4th, 5th, 6th. Yeah, it's and they're tapped. They are fast. Them guys are unbelievable.
Do you know Bob Collins?
I've heard of the name.
He owns FWR tires in London, but he can pedal a bike. He's a good quality rider.
Right.
Should have gone a lot further, but life and some stupid choices have prevented that. But he's like Bob is on a personal level with people that I know. He's the fastest person I know on a motorbike on the road. He's phenomenally quick, and he went and did the TT, and I think he came like 60th out of 60 in the TT. And even he was just like, there's fast, and then there's those top guys. He's like, they're literally tight roping the difference between crashing and not crashing all the time. And he was like, it's just that mentality. It's a different level, a totally different level. I'm assuming off-road, like Dakar, Enduro, that it's the same.
It's unreal what they can do. Absolutely. It's the equivalent of the TT guys. They're so fast and they're on the limit. It's scary, I think. I can't imagine going that speed. Can you imagine going around the TT like they do?
No. I used to think I was reasonably quick, right? And I went to the TT for the first time, and I stood at the bottom of Bray Hill with my wife, and I was really excited to see it. They came by and I felt sick because it was that sudden realization of, holy fuck, this is quick, and there are real repercussions if something goes wrong. And then,
it's mad.
You see them on the back end of the island where they're doing 160, 170 odd. And then you ride that section of the course just on as a public road. And it's a 50 mile an hour limit. And at 50 mile an hour, you're getting thrown out the seat because it's so bumpy. And they're like pinned. How do they do this?
I can't fathom it. And the same, even though I know rally, I don't know road racing like that. And but I see the speeds, and I've watched videos back of what the guys are doing at Dakar, and I know what I was doing there and what they're doing. It's unreal. It's insane. You cannot fathom it. And that's like, I was thinking I was going fast. It's unreal. It's cool, but it's scary as hell.
Jeez, man. I can't. I mean, like you guys, when you ride, you make it look effortless, and like for you to turn around and say, "No, these guys are really quick." It's like, Jesus, how is that human?
I know.
Patrick has another bit there. He said, "Oh no, he doesn't. No, sorry. Sam Vincent's the next one. How you doing, Sam? Yes, top guy. Love you too, Bruce. Cheers, Sam. Thank you. 2 questions, if I may. Firstly, I'm sure you've covered a lot about the Dakar, which is something I've always wanted to do. I'm not bad off-road, but nowhere near Dakar level. What training did you find most effective for it? Is it just to throw your bike into a sandpit and try to get it out for hours? Someone muttered something about cardio and being fit, but that sounds like effort.
I would say do a year of British Enduro Championships, even at like club and level. If you can finish every day and then feel like you can do another 13, then you're ready on a bike. I did a lot of things. I've done the Dawn to Dusk 24-hour on my own to punish myself and to wear the kit I was going to wear to see if it was like there was no chafing and all that sort of stuff. I've done a lot, and that's the problem I think people don't see is I'm a bit of a nerd and I count the hours I'm on a bike, and already this year I'm nearly nearly 380, more than that I think. But like that's a lot of hours in a year, like over 400-500 hours. And I've done that pretty much since I've been riding enduro. So I'm riding all the time, but training wise for anybody, forget about rally. I like go punish yourself. Go and learn how to become unstuck and do peen a chain link with a rock and do stuff like you'll only get experiences like that when you go out and get them experiences. And I am like I've said it before, like people look at me, I'm not I'm not an athlete. I don't look like I'm just a big guy off the street who can ride a motorbike, and I make things look a little bit easy. But they've got to. I think a lot of people have got to remember I've done a hell of a lot, like 4 6-day enduros, 12 Scottish 6 days, Romaniacs in the silver class. I've done, Dawn to Dusk solo winner against the teams overall, and I've done a lot of motorcycling and a lot of enduro, and a lot of times I've gone and got myself horrendously stuck. I had a loop from here when I was training for Romaniacs. I'd go out and try and get stuck, and I'm fortunate. I live really close to Chris Northover, who lives right on got 13 acres of land. We can mess around in gullies and rocks and streams. I've got places I can ride, and I do a hell of a lot of riding away from the cameras, away from Instagram, away from social media and all that. So people only see what I'm doing really on social media, but now I'm vlogging I'm doing like a weekly vlog on YouTube, and at the moment I'm just too busy. I haven't been riding, but I've been riding, but not riding, so that makes sense. But there's a hell of a lot I do that people don't see, and the biggest thing I'd say, just go and punish yourself. Go and do a season of, like I say, if you can do normal time card enduro, or I'm not talking 3 hour hare and hounds. I'm talking like this weekend, the British Championship in Breckville was 7 hours on a bike. Now, if you can finish that and think you can do that for another 13 days, then you're ready. But if not, don't even contemplate worrying about road books or anything like that, or fitness. That will sort your fitness out. So
yeah, there you go, Sam. Now, when Neil says punish yourself, he's not talking about your normal Friday, Saturday night style punishing. Involves a motorcycle, Samuel. Get out there. Let's see you. Right, cheers for your question, Sam. Next one, Dave Ashpole. Does he leave you enormously long voice notes as well on Instagram?
Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? He's keen as hell. He's always taking the mick out of me about firefighting, the lack of firefighting, I think it is.
Has he told you he's a firefighter? Has he mentioned that? He's a fireman. He's a teacher, isn't he? He's not a fireman. He just teaches
I'm
people.
on call now. I've got my letter just in case. I'm not on call, so if this goes off, I've booked off for the evening. So.
Right, Dave's question. Good evening, gents. Congratulations on your 200th Bru Time episode. Sorry I wasn't available for this. No worries. I know you wanted a proper firefighter on, but I had to settle with Pontypandy's Norman Price, Mr. Neil Hawke, the man with the best on-call contract ever. Question 1 for Neil. What made you want to join your local on-call fire station, and what aspects do you enjoy the most? And were you disappointed your fire station doesn't have beds or a pole to slide down? Fire brigade, what appealed?
So the story with that, and it was during COVID. I was sat here. I was a little bit demoralised not demoralised. So the first time, so 2021, I got back and everybody's in lockdown. The whole world was in lockdown. So I got back, and I live in a sleepy little sort of valley in between Swansea and Brecon, Abercrave, and I was, as everybody was at home, locked down, and I'm very lockdown for me. I know some people really suffered, and if you were in a flats complex or something in a city, I cannot imagine how bad it was. But I was in rural South Mid Wales, and it was pretty good for riding motorbikes around my garden. Trials. So I rode a lot of trials with Chris Northover. Me and him rode loads. We built stuff at his farm all day. We rode motorbikes. Pretty much lived there, and it was, selfishly, it was a really good time. Just come back from Dakar, I was fit as a fiddle, I was feeling strong, I was but we were in lockdown, so I'd sit in the garden now and again, and the fire engine would go by flat out. I was like, I wonder where they're off.
Looks
and then
cool.
Then I'd see him come back. I'd be like, and then I'd see him go, and I said to Sarah, my missus, I was like, next time they come back, I'm going to go up there and see if they need anybody, because I think I was 40 then, so I'm 40. I'm fit, I'm strong, I'm healthy. There cannot be an abundance of strong people who are willing to do something for the community in the local area. I wonder if they're short of people. I'm going to follow them. So I saw them go by, jumped on my bicycle, followed them up the road, and obviously everybody's in mask, everybody's a bit standoffish, and I was like, hi guys, and I was very nervous because I didn't want to be the only Englishman in a small, and they're all Abercrave Rugby Club, and I was like, oh shit, am I making the right decision here? I was like, anyway, I thought, no, I'm going to do it, and applied to be a on-call firefighter, and they said, yeah, we need people, especially if you've got your HGV license. We definitely need people. So come back when recruitment opens up again. So no worries. And it opened up once lockdown sort of was less and we could do things. I joined up, and it was what a bloody fantastic thing it's been. I love it. I absolutely love it. I am the only Englishman in the crew. I don't talk about rugby, especially when England are playing or Wales are playing. I keep my nose clean. If anything goes wrong and they blame me, I say it's bullying because I'm the only Englishman. Basically, I play both sides of the card, but I love it. It gives you something to back to the community, and also it's the only job I have that pays on the same day every month. It's not a lot, and we can be a really sleepy, quiet little station, or we can be absolutely flat out. I think this month we've had 40 calls, which is a lot, like for us, but like that's like 1 or 2 a day easily. More than that is great. It was not great. Some of it's not, but you feel like you're giving something back to the community. And like I said, I'm fit, healthy, I'm strong. I feel like I can give to my to the station, and I've met loads of people I'd never meet. I'd never have gone up to the rugby club and socialised. I would never have, because I'm not that guy. Like I said, I am quite shy, and I wouldn't have. But now I've met people that I wouldn't have, and I'm part of the community instead of just being on a house and keeping myself to myself. I'm that guy who rides motorbikes. I'm now just something else.
Do you think it's maybe filled a void that was there after leaving the military? And I ask this because I've worked with a lot of ex-military in the old bill particularly, and a lot of them say the mentality of like your average Scotty and your copper is very similar. You know, there's that dark sense of humour. Everyone just cracks on. You deal with some pretty horrific parts of life. You know, it's not war, it's not a war zone, but it can be a little bit like it at times, particularly in the cities. It can be a little bit what's the word? It can be a little bit shooty at times and stabby. And there's some pretty horrible parts of the job that you have to deal with, and you deal with that through. I'm sure the fire brigade's exactly the same. There's going to be trauma that you have to deal with, and you do deal with that through dark humour, don't you? And a lot of the lads that I've met in the old bill who are ex-military were all like, this just reminds me of being back there, in amongst those type of people. Is it the same? Is that something that you get from being in the fire brigade?
Absolutely, yeah. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It is exactly that. It's a different kind of camaraderie. It's any of the services, and it's I haven't lost touch with the army. I still speak to a lot of, and I'm still actively messing around on motorbikes with a lot of people in ex-military or military. So I've still got that side of things. But it is that home life where you've got that other friend group and someone, a crowd to act a little bit differently, I suppose, around. Yeah, definitely. Like
what am I trying to say here? It is the fire brigade. Right, I'm going to take it from my point of view. Okay, like I did almost 20 years in the old bill. Would I recommend the old bill to people now? You know, would I, if people come up to me and go, I want to join the old bill, would you recommend it? In my head, I'm screaming no, because it's not the job. It's not the job I joined. But then when I joined 20 years ago, there were coppers there that were going, the job's fucked. You know, they're like, this just isn't the same job. I thought it was fucking amazing. I loved it. Flying about with the woo-woos on, you know, you're dealing with some insane things and you got to do some awesome stuff. And no doubt the ones that join the old bill now, they're probably feeling the same. To me, it was horrific. I fucking hated my last time there. It just was people. The public weren't the same. You know, the public have changed. Society's changed.
Yeah, I think it's like the society and people are so different now. It's a different mentality. It's quite scary how it's got. I think Yeah, even when you think, oh yeah, I used to play football in the road and do this and like as kids you do all this stuff, and I don't think kids are doing that now. Like, no. and they're exposed to so many other things. It is pretty scary. Like my 17-year-old daughter now, she's way too adult than she should be. She should be messing around and going and playing and doing. But now they're exposed to all like everything that goes on social media and I don't know, it seems like everything is, they're exposed to so much more so at a younger age and so easily. And that does scare me a little bit.
But your job within the fire, like, has the fire service, has that changed in the, what's that, 5 years that you've been in?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it. People are so worried about getting sued and you're so worried about doing things. I've got a bit of a mentality where I don't know, it's not the right thing to say. It's easy to say sorry, but like if they say, oh, you can't use that winch, and I was like, to do that because that bit of equipment is dangerous, or you do it this way because of this, you just get it done. And because you have to in a situation, and I'm not really afraid to do like just to get things done a little bit quicker. And
if it needs doing, it needs doing, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I do think like times are changing. We've got a few really like some younger guys in the station who are a lot younger, and I think like there is a definite divide of how they are and how like. There's a group of like 35 to 50 odds, and there's a divide. There's just a different mentality. Of course, there's going to be, but it is quite shocking the way some people are, and customers. I say customers, the general public. Yeah,
Nothing will surprise you more than the public.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And pretty much everything I do is working with the public until I'm on my motorbike with my helmet on my own. Yeah. That's why I do Dakar. Is like a little holiday at the beginning of the year to set yourself up for the year, and it's quite a nice little trail ride. It's organised, isn't it? So you don't have to think.
The Dakar. I've never heard it described as a nice little trail ride. Right, cheers to that one, Dave. Which one is this? We've got 3 more on Patreon. Have you got time for
this? Loads of time, yeah. I might have to start my engine up because my battery's on charge. I'll try that. It's just not affecting the noise. That's all right. Very good.
Lovely. Next one, John Powell. Evening both. Neil, I first saw you a few years back, probably at ABR Festival, demonstrating how to pick up a GS to a 5 foot tall slight woman and getting her to do so. I thought you had a great job. Having followed you for a few years and seeing how many strings that you have to your bow, do you ever get bored of demonstrating the basics to newbies, or is that still a challenge?
I never get bored of teaching people how to do the basics, and like I said, it's the most rewarding thing especially when someone comes into a show like ABR or Motorcycle Live and comes into a intimidating environment. Usually, it's like smaller women who come in, and there's all these guys, old guys, who's sitting on the side looking, going, oh, she's never going to pick up that GS. And it's like, and it's the problem is with when I demonstrate, it looks so bloody easy, but I'm not. It's quite annoying because I wish sometimes I was like, a little bit smaller or just didn't look so bloody bulky because I make it look really easy, but actually it's technique because Jenny does like our instructors, there's some like small people, like Chris Northover's tiny, but he's strong. So you take him out of the equation. Ben, yeah, he's the same. He's strong. He's a little bugger, but Jenny's like a very, very petite, smaller, older lady. She's in her 50s, I think, and she's tiny, and she probably doesn't even weigh as much as my left leg, but it's but she picks up a GSA, like fully fueled, and like she does it, and it's just when people get in and have a go, I love it. And back to the question is, I get such a buzz out of that, and it's cool because they come in thinking, I'll never be able to do this. I'll never be able to lift this up. This is impossible. And all the people around thinking that, but it is technique, not so much muscle, I promise you. There's 1,000 million ways of how to pick up a motorbike on the internet. It's getting a little rabbit hole.
Again, it's getting people to face their Everests, isn't it? No matter what that Everest is, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Chucking a leg over a motorbike for the first time, right through to entering their first rally or short circuit race or whatever it is. It's being there to get someone to the point where they take it on. You know, they challenge themselves to that level.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, that's cool.
Tommy Lindley, 200 episodes. What an achievement. Congrats, mate. Thank you very much, Tommy. I hope your leg heals. He smashed himself up properly as Tommy.
Oh, bugger. Heal up soon.
Question for both of you. A mate of mine is 6'4". A mate, is it, Tommy? A mate of mine is 6'4", clinically obese, shit off-road, and terrible with the spanners. Sounds familiar. But he keeps being drawn. But he keeps being drawn to a second bike to start doing more green lanes and a little more off-roading. What bike or bikes would you be looking at for him?
So he's a big, tall guy.
He's taller than me, probably a little bit bigger as well, actually. He's 6'4". He's a big guy. Not overly capable off-road, but he can. Tommy
so
can.
Sort of adventure stuff, and
he's a GS wanker. Yeah, he's a GS wanker.
You're on the best bike, obviously.
Exactly, best bike in the world.
Do you know what? That is a bloody good bike. I have ridden so much and so many different bikes. The GS is the easiest bike to teach people on, and the easiest bike to learn how to ride adventure and off-road safely in the right environment, obviously. But it just does tick every box. It's the technology, the whole package. For a bigger guy, it is harder to get in a better position. That's why it's picked up on, like saying about Leo messing around. Watch some of his stuff on Brake Magazine, because he is so clinical about the standing up position and your body position, using your body as a tool. And if you are taller, people mask that and go, I'm going to get bar risers and do this and do that and do this. I mean, the motorcycle manufacturers spend a lot of money on research and development, and a standard bike is bloody good. And it is about how we use our body. And 9 times out of 10, people off-road riding have a bad body position, and that's what's hindering their riding. And get tuition. If you're wanting to do off-road, get tuition. But best bike, it depends. It's adventure, I say a GSA or a KTM 1290, or if you're pure off-road, get a Cove rally bike or a KTM, or it depends on budget. But you can never have one bike that's best for everything. but you can have a lot of bikes that do things well. And I know I'm a massive GS guy because of work, and I don't have to say it, but I am very lucky. I've ridden loads of bikes, loads and loads of motorbikes. The GS is bloody good.
There you go. I've been saying it for years, folks. See? The old tractor. The good old tractor.
Why have I had 100 people unfollow me?
Welcome to my world. Yeah. I did a big trip on my jigsaw. I was always a jigsaw man. And then I came back from that and found adventure bikes. You know, like sort of 2015, I chucked my leg over I think it was the first Triumph 1200 Explorer, as it turned out to be. Yeah. But that just transformed me. I was like, oh, hang on a minute. This is actually quite comfortable.
They are good, aren't they?
Yeah. And then I made the mistake of riding the GS, and it was like, I'm going to be one of these, isn't I? I got peak led, the ruckus suit. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know how old I was. I must have been 31 or 32 when I started working with Off-Road Skills. Yeah. And I was so adamant I wasn't going to be full like GS wanker, and I do you know what? I don't care now, because I can do massive stoppies, wheelies, donuts, spin turns, skids. I can do pretty much everything that I can do on an enduro bike, or not so much trials bike, but you know what I mean? You can do so much on them. And every time if I am on the road and I get someone who even wants to, like a GS 1300 is unreal on the road. Third gear is fucking awesome. And you can keep up with pretty much anything.
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere. Even on a track, I'd love a track day and to do one on a GS, because
have you not done a track day on them?
No, I need to. I'd love to, but I just love it. When someone comes up to you and like on the road, or wants to get a little bit fruity, or even off road says, "Oh, they can't go off road," and you can. And you show them where you can go. It's like unreal. You're hearing. I like it when you're like in Motorcycle Live, when you're just like in even your normal clothes and you're just listening to people talk about the bikes, or you're sat on the stage, like you're sat in, do you know, on the bikes where they're all on their stands, and you're like hanging around because we do a bit of chatting, and then you just walk into the arena and go and do like these jumps and donuts and stuff, and you're like, yeah, well, they can do it. But
yeah, brilliant. I'm the same. Like I'm not an off-road guy, but I like the odd track day, and I just take the tractor. You know, you ride the tractor there, take the panniers off or whatever, and then it's fucking brilliant. Oh, okay, in the straights, the sports bikes, straights, but I'm like coming in and round through the corners. The GS is mint. I've not done it on the 13 yet. I've only done it on my 1250, but it's brilliant. It's brilliant fun. Just watching people's faces, you know, like, holy shit, that thing goes. Wow. Right, last one in Patreon. Overlander, no coriander. How you doing? Neil, when are you taking Bruce to Walters Arena? See you with the Explore 360 training. What's Walters Arena?
So that's where Off-Road Skills is based. So we're in Ashton-Goodnice, just north of Swansea. And Walters Arena is a 4,000-acre playground for adventure bikes. So it's Off-Road Skills. I'll give them a hint to get you. If you've never been, you should come along.
No, never done it.
Oh, mate, honestly, let's get you to Off-Road Skills. We'll sort it out. I'll ask. See if BMW Motorrad UK can swing the budget to. It's saying you've got one. You need to know what it can do off road. So let's make that happen. Let's make that happen.
I don't think BMW like me, so we'll see. I didn't say very nice things about their electric thing that they produced, so they don't seem to like me after that.
Don't worry about that.
Right, cheers to that one. We'll move across to Instagram. I've got a couple of questions there to get through. First one, the Inspired Rider Official. How are we doing? Neil's the top bloke. We had some banter over boiled potatoes and chicken at the Off-Road Skills Day ORS a couple of years back. All the best for your new Dakar campaign. Question.
Thank you.
If your riding buddies were describing you in 3 words, what would they be? And which one would they be lying about?
You're describing me. 3 words. It's probably going to be rude. If it's my riding buddies, it would definitely be something about food and not being fit, and so a flexible fatty, which I remember being called a few times.
Flexible fatty.
That's 3, isn't it? Does that A count?
A flexible fatty. All right, we'll give you that.
It's to be honest, it's all pretty true. It's we have a lot of banter, a hell of a lot of banter. I'm not answering the question really, am I? But we do have a massive amount of banter with everybody I ride with, and I love it. I'm very happy until I'm not, as in, like, once I do now and again get a little bit like, what the bloody hell is that? But I'm very professional, so it's all within my own helmet. But I love it. I love it. I love the banter. And that's, I suppose, a bit of a military thing coming out and services thing coming out. But it's, anybody who knows me knows I like to take the piss, and I like to have fun. So, yeah.
If you're not getting the piss taken out of you, that's when I'd worry. It's like, okay, something's not right here. What's going on?
Yeah.
Stan's got another question. He says, what's one piece of advice you'd give every adventure bike rider that has nothing to do with riding?
Nothing to do. Hydrate, but it's riding, isn't it? Well, off a bike or nutrition. Suppose it is off a bike, but it's to do with riding because you're doing it because of riding. Nothing to do with riding. A tip: go fast, take chances. Is riding, is it?
You can apply everything to riding, I suppose.
You can commit. There you go. Just in life, just commit. There you go.
Yeah, I like
Top
that.
tip. Commit.
I like that. Yes.
Excellent. If my girlfriend listens to this, she'll be like, "Go on, then, commit." I've got bad knees. I've got bad knees.
Yeah, you're digging yourself a hole there, pal. Right, we've got Tam Podcast. How we doing? Have you ever had the backing? Would he go full truck wanker?
Do you know, I would, with a group of mates. I'd go, so I wouldn't get, the only thing that would tempt me away from being in that originals Malle Moto class would be to go with a group of mates and pick my own team, and you could make it so much fun. I mean, I'd love to ride with Chris Northover and in Dakar and document it all. I'd love to be able to ride with all my mates like I ride with, because it's just, that's what it's about. The first time, and one of the reasons I went back the second time was because, well, the first time I smashed myself up. The second time, so 2021 and then back this year, not only it was like you get 5 years to qualify, and I'll have to re-qualify if I didn't go back this year. But one of the reasons in 21 is I had nobody real to have banter with, nobody to have that, like, oh, that gym was massive. Did you do this? Yeah. Did you see that? Did you see that? And you do that when you ride, innit? When you're riding along, God, that was a beautiful view, doesn't it? Especially if you're calmed down for any of that, mic'd up. But it was that, and having that banter and having that social side of it. And that's why actually, when Carl and Craig were going, I was like, I cannot miss out on this. I want to be there with them.
Yeah. That looked such a, I mean, I know it wasn't enjoyable all the time, but it definitely looked like you all got more from that because you were able to share it together.
Yeah,
It seemed to
absolutely. I loved
amplify
it.
the highs. Definitely.
Yeah, honestly, it was fantastic. When people go with a team and it's like you make so many memories, and they did so well. And it was awesome. The whole imagine how cool it is for Andrew, like their dad, to have their boys doing Dakar and be there with them.
Yeah.
That is for me, and
Awesome.
that's this year. The only time I cried was like at the finish line. I finished. I was then waiting for Carl and Craig, stood with Andrew, and he was like a Mick. Everybody that was coming along, he was like, "Is that them? Oh no, is that?" And then seeing them two cross the line together and watching Andrew, that done me. I was like, that's me. Nah, I was crying. I was like, no. And then Craig was in tears. Carl's like, didn't give a shit. He was like, chilled out. But no, I joke. I know that was cool. You know what I mean? And that for me would be the only time I'd go full truck wanker.
Yeah. It was awesome to see Carl and Craig, the Searles lads, achieve that dream. I had them on the podcast, God, it must be about 3 years ago, or maybe even more than that, when they'd first decided, right, we're going to go for this. So it was the early days. They were trying to build up the momentum to do it, and then obviously they didn't manage to get in that first time that they tried to get in the Dakar, and then to actually see that they've got in, and then not only got in but they completed it, they finished. It was like, oh man, that's awesome to see it all the way through. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's so good. I had just talked to Carl like 10 minutes before the podcast, and because he was asking me, because I posted a story up today about the Honda for sale, and he was like straight on it. What are you getting? What are you doing? What are you? So and like them guys, like they love it as much as me, and they'll be back. They'll be back.
Nice. There you go, Clive's answered your question, mate. Tam podcast, folks, if you've never listened to it, check it out. Trail and Adventure Motorcycle Podcast. Check it out. It's good. Chris Evans Sport Adventure. Ask him why he keeps coming back for punishment. Is he stupid?
To see him.
I see you've answered this one.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, actually, Chris is the British liaison staff member in the organisation for Dakar, who looks after the competitors. He not only looks like he's the British sort of representation, but he looks after, he does loads of other stuff during Dakar and before. But if you enter and you're British, you have to go through him for like the interview and stuff like that. And he's done so many Dakars. He's been around Dakar forever. And having him in the bivouac, he'd come around most evenings, sit on the chair, chat while I was changing tires or changing oil. So it's characters like that who make the Dakar, and he's great. And like say, like meeting people like Chris is mega. Why I keep coming back, not only to see him, I've answered it already. It's a drug. It's that feeling. There's no other feeling like it that I've ever had, is finishing that last stage. Not so much the finish line, or not so much getting your medal on the podium. It's the physical last 10K of the last stage. That is something. I'm talking about it now. I'm like getting a little bit like, I'm going to go again next year. Wait a minute. I missed less than 6 months now. Shit, I'm going again. And it feels like I've only just got back, and like coming on a podcast like this and talking about it, I get so hyped up for it. I'm going to probably get off this and just be like buzzing, because and then start planning things. Oh, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do? What kind of scheme am I going for? I wonder if I can get these sponsors. I wonder if I can do that. And you end up having these massive like highs all the way through the year that carry on. So I'm thinking now, like, that's why I did it 2020 and 21 consecutively, and then left it 5 years. But going back straight after and being fit and healthy is new for me, and I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
I mean, is it just you that's basically keeping this show on the road, in terms of getting to the start line for Dakar next year, because you're running a business, aren't you? You've got to try and attract sponsors. You're doing the marketing, you're doing everything around it. Is it just you, or have you got a team helping out?
I've got a massive team of people that get me to the start line. A lot of personal sponsors who want to help me, and I give back to a lot of people in different ways, but it's very hard to give back. It's very hard to ask for money. It's like, hey, and I have got a few haters out there who some of my Facebook posts in the past, there's one or two who always come back at me, and like, I get it. Ish. It is very, very difficult. Hey, give me money to go ride my motorbike. It's selfish, isn't it? It's really hard, and I do struggle with that. And I have to feel like I give back or give something
100%,
that I can, and not only to a brand that is quite, like for a small business company that sponsor me loads as a family friend, and what I can give back to them is a logo, and they might be able to write it off in tax, but it means so much to me, and having that team of people, it's so important to make sure everybody's happy and to keep everybody as part of the adventure, and to do as many things I can before and after and during, making them feel like they're there with me. And this year, some people were there. They come in and had a few days in the bivouac with me, and it's great. It's unreal. They can't do anything to help, but they're there, and it's a help for me because it's banner and it's all good. But it's basically me. I decide. And that's why I like the originals. It's all like, I obviously got people that will help, but last year I did my own website, which is now I need to change it all, and I haven't had time, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to try and do that. But before you know, time's run out, and you're like on the back foot. So without the team of people around me and who support me and are there at a drop of a hat if I need like to speak to someone for advice about marketing, or how to raise money, or to do this or to do that, or to ask for a sponsor, or do you know anybody in that industry? Or there's a lot of people that help, and it's unreal. It's cool. It's so cool.
Awesome. Last couple here. Gazelle's off-road team. Neil is a genuine lovely guy. We met him at Dakar. His category really does treat man and machine to the limit. Utmost respect to the guys that do original by Motul. I remember seeing Neil at the airport in Yanbu waiting for the flight home, and he looked as fresh as he did before the race. It's not a question, it's just hello.
Them guys are awesome. It was a pair of lovely ladies who drove the Land Rover, an old Defender, in the Dakar Classic, and they looked like they had a hell of a time. They did it absolutely like the proper way, had fun, spoke to everybody, made some real good friendships, had some like just keeping it in the Land Rover on the road and finishing the Dakar Classic is unreal. So them ladies are amazing, and they're doing some cool things like Goodwood and all that sort of stuff, and they'll be back, I'm sure, to go to Dakar. So thank you to them, and it was great to meet them, and it's always lovely to have like people come up and like. You talk to people on social media and connect with people through socials, and then when you meet them and they're lovely people, it's even better, and it's cool. It really is. It's a nice world we live in.
It's a fantastic part of social media, isn't it? Because social media can be really quite toxic. It can be very negative, but it can also be a fantastic platform for like being inspired, inspiring others, and meeting people.
Absolutely,
It's very easy to think people are all, excuse the term, but people are all cunts, isn't it? It's very easy to look at the modern media, whether that's traditional on the TV, magazines, social media, whatever it is, and just think, oh God, the world's fucked. And people are just horrible. But when you actually get out there and meet normal people, genuine normal people, wherever they're from, you realise people are fucking awesome. People are really decent most of the time.
especially in our circles, like when you go to ABR and Motorcycle Live and all these shows, and you got people come up on the schools, and it's so nice for people to say, "Oh, I'm so and so." I was like, "Oh, wow, that's that." I love it, and that's what keeps me. It does keep me going, like having such a friendly group in my social media. I'm sure there's people just watching thinking, what's that knobhead doing again? Oh, why? Oh no, he's trying to get like money off people to go and race. And do you know what? I kind of get them, but like unless they know me and actually physically sort of meet me and then understand and see what I do to try and give back to motorcycling, which I feel I do a lot. I mean, I bloody love teaching people to ride motorbikes, and I get such a buzz out of it. And when someone comes in and says, "Yeah, I met you, like I watched your stuff at Motorcycle Live, I booked onto the school, and now I'm here," I'm like, that is awesome. And not just from a school point of view, just the fact that, like exactly what you said, I've inspired someone to get on a course and try off-road or something like that.
Yeah.
I love
try
it.
something different. Push their boundaries. Try something different. Brilliant.
No, it's awesome.
Last one from Instagram, Ash Jones 11990. I've been enjoying your weekly vlogs. Can you talk about how your journey started and how others can begin to aspire to one day dream of entering the Dakar? So this is your YouTube channel.
Yeah. So I'm just doing weekly, literally my life. I'm filming. I haven't filmed this. I should be able to do a screenshot or something when it comes out. Or I'll definitely let people know, which is cool. I've just been, and I'm definitely not monetized or anything like that. I am way off. Like I've got like a few, like 3,000 subscribers or whatever it is, which is enough. But I'm like, I need to do loads of people need to watch the videos. But I've done 9 now. 9 weeks since I committed to do Dakar, and I just thought I'd show the YouTube what I'm doing, and as a normal human being who has to work a lot, and I'm not getting a lot. I get very good opportunities in the motorcycle industry because I work within the motorcycle industry. So I do get opportunities where I get sponsorship for tires. I get this for oil. I get this for kit, and it's great having them opportunities. But it's the other stuff, and I am a very normal person, just doing everyday things. But my jobs are revolving around motorcycles. So hopefully that's entertaining. I will start ramping up the fitness. I will start doing all that stuff, and I will start showing you what I'm eating and doing, and I will replicate days of Dakar before, like when the winter comes. But at the moment, I'm making money I'm making hay where the sun shines. When the sun's shining, I'm out working with motorcycles. So we've got a lot of events during the summer. It will ramp up towards Dakar focus, and especially when you start having to take the bike to Barcelona, and you're getting a new bike, and you're learning the bike, and you're getting kit, and you're talking about the kit. There's so much content. So I thought I'd just document it, and it seemed, I'm like, some videos have got 500 views, some have got 2,000, and I'm not too bothered. I enjoy doing it. It's very raw. I'm not spending hours editing. I'm literally filming on my phone and editing it, and that's it.
I've spoke about this quite a lot of this year, really. YouTube's changing. YouTube started as a very raw place where normal people, were given a platform to reach others and get out there. But it became this very polished place. It was basically another mainstream media platform. And YouTube seems to be changing now. They seem to be favoring honest, raw content that people can connect with. They're not just consuming it, they're connecting with it. The algorithm seems to be actively promoting that type of content again. The old school vlogs, like what you're doing. So I really hope that comes back, because YouTube's been hard the last year or two. As someone who's full time on YouTube now, as well as my tours and stuff. But it's hard. It's been really hard. and the algorithm does seem to just be starting to turn a little bit. So yeah, folks, check out Neil's channel. It's good stuff there. I'll leave the links down below. So
yeah, I'm having fun with it, and it is very, very raw. It's very me. It's just, I try not to swear, and I try not to be so sometimes the way I can be, but it's very raw and me having fun on motorbikes most of the time.
But I genuinely think that's what people want these days. They want normal. You know, they just want a normal person. They don't want, hi guys, you know, I've got this, buy this, which is kind of something, you know, that's how you make your money on YouTube a lot of the time. And it's hard not to do that. But yeah, I think people just want to share an experience, a human experience with people. Anyway, right, we've got one more question, and that's over on Facebook, and it is from a legend. Do you know Spencer Conway, Spencer James Conway? Have you ever met Spencer?
I don't think I have, no.
Spencer and his Mrs. Kathy have been on the road for years, traveling all around the world, and they've sort of made their home. I think it's, forgive me, Spencer, if I'm wrong, but I think you're in Mexico or Central America somewhere. They've pretty much settled there for the last year or so.
Awesome.
Crazy. Lovely people. They've been on the podcast before. Great folk to know. Really good folk to know. Spencer says, many congratulations, Bruce. No surprise there. And what a guest. Icing on the Bruce cake. Thank you very much, Spencer. Question. Firstly, many congratulations. Followed you, and I will continue. Which rider's style of riding, whether the physical or mental approach or both, do you enjoy?
I'm a big fan of like the mental side of it and getting in people's heads. I like that. When I was competing properly, I wind people up. I'm quite good at it. I like trials. You say, oh, I did a terrible lap, even though you know you had a mega lap, and you're like, you've done really well. You come back and be like, oh no, shocking, or you push people's buttons like in a queue, just like overtake them and just sit there in front of them, and like when everybody's queuing up for something, you just like push in, and it just messes with their head, and then like they're all raging, and then you go in and do a really good lap, and because they're so stressed out and raging because you just pushed in, they'll do shit, and it's like enough shit like that. I'm very like Billy Bolt is mega at that stuff. He plays with people, and he learned off a lot of other people. If you've got a good head, like a strong mental game, then like sometimes even like you just buzz past someone and just like be totally confident, and even though you're not, and you're like you just oh yeah, like or save a little bit of energy so you can mess with someone. I love that. I'm but
I thought you were such a nice man.
I am, of course. But you've got to have that skill set. So you've to be isn't it? To be able to have the amount of headspace to be able to think like that, you need to not be worrying about your motorcycling. So start off, get real good at technically, and then you can go and fuck with people.
And on that note, mate, you've given me almost 2.5 hours of your Monday evening. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Before we go, is there anything we've not covered you want to cover? Are there any shout outs that you want to give? Please feel free.
There's so many. I just want to say congratulations, 200 episodes. Awesome work.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very
much. Let's get you off-road skills, or come and ride the rally bike, or do something. Let's get you dirty. And honestly, shout outs wise, everybody who helps me, from just a pat on the back and saying well done, to a thumbs up on Facebook, a like on Instagram, a subscribe on YouTube, is everything. Anybody who's ever sort of give me like a little bit of like encouragement to do what I'm doing, and it just makes it all worthwhile. And there's so many people who physically and who help me so much. But really, it's just a massive team of people. So thank you, everybody. And I can't wait for Dakar 27. And I'm sure I see ABL's obviously done, but Motorcycle Live's next. So if you've watched this and we haven't met, come up and see me. Hopefully, if I'm not riding around in circles, I'll be on the stand, I'm sure.
Right, awesome. With regards to getting dirty at the Off-Road Skills Day, if the opportunity presents itself, I will embrace it with open arms.
No worries.
Folks, I'll leave all the links for Neil's socials down below. Make sure you give him a like, a follow, subscribe, all that jazz. Drop him a message of support as well along the way. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. To everybody that's left questions, thank you very much for doing that. You really do help make Bru Time the success it's become. So thank you very much from me. If you have enjoyed it, folks, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. You follow on whatever audiocast platform you're listening to this on. And do us a favour, tell your mates about it. That's the biggest way we grow, is just by sharing it. So if you'd share, it's a massive help. Okay, folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. Keep doing your thing. Get on out there whenever you can. Look after those that you love. But most importantly, live your life. Woo-ha!